for your kind words, and we want to welcome everybody, both founders of Onpassive and for those that are visiting us for maybe the first or second time to take another look at what is happening with this outstanding company. And I tell you, we are so excited. Cindy, I appreciate you so much and feel the same way. I feel honored to work with you and Victoria on these broadcasts, and it's a great opportunity to welcome Jeffrey Morlock today. Jeffrey's just been a blessing to the company, and some of the materials and things that he is creating are outstanding. I've had a chance to read through them, and I get more and more enthused as I read. And of course, our founder and CEO, weathering the pre-storm, and hopefully for those of you that are listening, we want to remember to pray for our friends out in the Bahamas that got just ravaged yesterday by the hurricane, and we ask that God would protect the shores of Florida all the way up through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and that Ash would be safe there in Orlando. And we're appreciative that we can get on here today. And so without any further ado, I feel honored to be here today to share something that in my 45 plus years experience of working from home, I have never, and I do mean never, been so excited. So if you ever doubt for one moment that you aren't in the right place at the right time, I'm hoping when we finish this presentation that you will be absolutely convinced. If you have any questions, please, if you're a guest, get back to the person that invited you here. They thought enough of you to invite you to change your life forever with this magnificent platform with Onpassive and Gofounders. This is going to be a little bit longer than normal, but I would say if you didn't want to watch the whole thing, you would really be shortchanging yourself. So stay with us, and we will get through these wonderful new slides. Hopefully you will enjoy them. I know many of you are probably asking, what is that unicorn doing on the screen here with Gofounders and Onpassive? Well, I think you'll have that answer very shortly. I want to welcome all of my fellow business partners with Onpassive, Victoria Liao, Ash Mufar, our CEO and genius leader. Of course, you just heard Cindy with those darling little boys that I hear about and love even without having a chance to meet them. And of course, Jeffrey Morlock. So we're welcoming you. We're bringing this to you together, and we hope that you'll enjoy it today. So I got to ask you a question. Just think for a minute and dream big. How would your life be if over the next few years, whether it's 5, 10, 15, it doesn't matter, all of a sudden you became financially independent with a company like Onpassive? How would your life look to you if money was no longer an issue? So we're going to talk a little bit about unicorns. I don't know much about unicorns, and I certainly did not know about the term startup unicorn until I actually went through these slides the day before yesterday and learned that that phrase, startup unicorn, was actually coined by a Cowboy Ventures founder, Eileen Lee, all the way back about 7 years ago. And if you look, there are really two types of unicorn. The basic unicorn is a startup that is less than 10 years old and is already valued at over $1 billion. And those are very rare. But when you look at a super unicorn, this is a startup that is actually less than 10 years old and valued at over $100 billion. And if you look at that very teeny percentage of 1.28%, that represents the number or the percentage of startups that actually become unicorns. And even more rare is the super unicorn. In fact, one of the very few examples of a super unicorn is a small little social media company called Facebook. And this comes from our US unicorn trends. A paradigm shift, it's a new breed. You may have heard of the term unicorn as it relates to finances. In 2013, venture capitalist Eileen Lee wrote a report about startups that were less than 10 years old and who were valued already over $1 billion or more by the markets or private investors. Very rare. She called these startups unicorns because they denoted their statistical rarity as highly successful startups that were really very, very rare. While the rarity has diminished somewhat, there's still only a little bit more than just 370 unicorns worldwide. And the purpose of the report was to find similarities amongst the people who founded these $1 billion startups, not comparing for similarities between the startup companies themselves. And I think this is a really important point, because really what is setting Onpassive apart from any other online business opportunity that I've seen is the fact that we have a purpose, a vision, and we have the leadership and the people that are founding members right now that give us a more than certain chance to become a unicorn. And perhaps, I believe, in the very near future, maybe less than 10 years, a super unicorn. And this says an awful lot about people like Ash in terms of their long-term commitments, their vision, their commitment to help every single person, and to make sure that as a affiliate or a founder with Gofounders, that our capabilities to scale from almost nothing in terms of money, product, and people to their current unicorn company status. With the vision and commitment of Ash Mufareh, our founder, Onpassive will quickly become a world-class corporation, a unicorn, and eventually a super unicorn, communing daily at the table of a global economy. And that is why you and I are here today. What can you expect in this webinar today to learn about? Well, we talked about unicorns, but we're also going to talk about the background of what's happening in the world of entrepreneurship with background globalism. Old science becomes new science. What Onpassive is and how Onpassive got started. What disruptive innovation and technology is, the top 5 disruptive technologies, what Onpassive products are, why Onpassive products are greatly needed, and of course, our founder opportunity along with the affiliate opportunity that will begin very soon once we launch officially the Onpassive platform. Now, there is Ash as he works hard every day from his hot office out there on the Onpassive yacht. No, but isn't that a beautiful picture? I believe that probably looks to me like Miami Beach. And there is a boat, and this is representing the success of Onpassive. And success is simply where preparation and opportunity meet. Here we offer you real gold. That's right, not the gold nuggets perhaps, but real value, real hope for the future. And you know what? This gold will change you and your family's life. It will meet you in places right now that maybe up until now you've been dreaming of. But one of the things that I am certain, for those of you that pay attention with Onpassive, your dreams will soon become your reality. It is your hand and what you make out of it. The future is entirely up to you. We are given the tools, the opportunity, and the platform with Onpassive to change our lives, our families' lives, our children's lives, and generations of people globally forever. Now let's talk about economic globalization, okay? The modern world began a forceful push for economic globalism sometime back, so now. Like it or not, we're all making this change. The world is changing quickly. We no longer live in isolated communities, economies, or nations. Just look at the number of founders that are represented and how many countries they are currently in. It's truly amazing. We no longer rely on just having our own isolated resources with a global economy. It's no longer about solving a few people's problem. It's about solving global problems with global awareness. And the wonderful thing about Onpassive, it doesn't matter where you might be listening in from tonight. you are going to be able to participate. If you are a guest and you're looking to get started, we've got you covered with Onpassive. In fact, one of the things that old science says is that the origin of life is random. The relationship to our body and the world is one of separateness. The rule of nature is one of competition and conflict. And one thing I will tell you, if you are visiting with us tonight for the first time, Onpassive is completely changing the playing field with new science that says the origin of life is not random. The relationship to our body and the world is one of being connected. The rule of nature is cooperation and mutual benefit on staying connected. This is no longer a one trick pony. Everybody that wants to has the same opportunity, whether you're in the United States, Seychelles, Europe, Asia, it just doesn't matter. We're all connected. Did you know that the societal, medical, and most corporate models are still pretty much based on the old science, the old business model and principles of competition? They ask, how can I benefit? What we want to do with Onpassive as we move forward is, how can my partners, how can the people that I work with this magnificent company, how can I help them to benefit? Why is this important? Because Onpassive is not based on those principles. It's a new day in the way that we do business from home or abroad. Onpassive is based on cooperation and your mutual benefit. It's a very real state of the art technology driven internet business. If you want to know, that's what we are. We are a technology driven internet business consisting of brick and mortar assets. We have artificial intelligence driven online marketing business platform that will change your life and the way that you build your business at home in a new way. We have leading, cutting edge, proprietary products, a suite of products that will continue to grow. And for those of you that are currently working and building other online businesses or looking for excellent lead generation platforms, you have a product suite of leading edge tools that are going to give you everything and more than what you need. How about traffic? Visitors, quality, focus, traffic that is going to be driven to whatever websites, company, products you want to represent and promote. If you are not a person who likes to sell, if you are a person who does not like to recruit, there is no necessity for you to do that in order to earn with our platform. And we have the development teams located globally. Brand new campus over in India, our headquarters in down in Florida with Ash and the team there, and just an opportunity to see our development teams, our internet engineers and technicians continue to grow and develop the top products in the globe online marketing tools today. Onpassive asks, how can we benefit others? Well, there's a beautiful car. That could be yours someday soon, or one of those beautiful yachts and boats out there. But the thing that I want to encourage everybody is to dream big and think big, because ambition is the pathway to success. And your consistency and persistence is the vehicle that you will arrive. I say you will arrive in. If you keep focused, keep moving forward, and keep using the system, the platform, and the expertise of people that have done what you are looking to do, then you are in a place of abundance. Do not let any risk limit you on the journey from impossible to possible. It all starts with our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufareh. It started back, actually, I think, just under 2 years ago for Ash, but Ash is a great leader. He is compassionate. He is truthful. He cares about every one of the people that have stepped forward and become a founding member with Onpassive and Gofounders. He has over 20 years, or about 20 years, in online business expertise. He's never previously owned a home business as far as an owner of any business that's marketed. He's not owned one, and this is his first time. And boy, I'll tell you what, you'd never know by what he is bringing to us with Onpassive and what he's already brought to us with our Gofounders website. You could not find a more trustworthy, likable, kind, gentle online business uh, leader, but also you'll never be able to find this type of sustainable online business models. We all know, if you've been looking for different businesses, I have a lot of opportunities each and every day. I look at them and I just can't find anything that I feel is going to be around. And I think that's pretty much what Ash's story is that he shared with me. He was really looking to go back to work using his own tools and marketing expertise, but just could not find something that he felt was going to be long term, something that was going to be reliable, and something that was run by honest people. And as an affiliate marketer, he suffered the same things that you and I do. I know many people right now that have been in 4, 5, 6 businesses in the last 6 months to a year. And every time I talk to them, it's gone out of business or they're not paying. And we need something that works for 100% of the people. And thank heavens that's what Ash has developed. He's a family man with his wife and kids patiently standing by his sides as he creates this online marketing masterpiece. He received Masters of Information Technology and E-commerce. That's called an MIT certification. And he attended Harvard University to learn specifically about online business creation. So that to me qualifies Ash to be the type of leader that I have committed myself 100% to. And he's also taken the time not to just be a student of a textbook, but he's gone and he's actually looked at some of the great business models of all time. Companies like Walmart, Google, Apple, Chase, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, LinkedIn, Skype, and more. Well, listen, I feel absolutely thrilled and honored. I've gotten to know Victoria from our calls. I haven't had the privilege. I look very forward to being able to meet Victoria and Cindy and Jeffrey, and of course, Ash face to face very soon. But I am thrilled to be able to just introduce one of our leaders who you know and whose beautiful voice you hear with her enthusiasm and her excitement about Onpassive. I want to ask Victoria Liao to come out and share a little bit over these next few slides, and then I'll come back and join you when she is done. Victoria?
Thank you, Scott. And I so look forward to meeting everyone also. It's going to be beautiful. One of the most consistent patterns in business is the failure of leading companies to stay on top of their industries when new technologies are introduced or when the markets change. And this brings us to the topic of disruptive innovations. Unfortunately, according to the Harvard Business Review, and despite broad dissemination, the disruption theory's core concepts have been widely misunderstood and frequently misapplied. You may hear about companies that call themselves disruptive innovations when in fact they are not. And this is important for you to know so that you can see what a true disruptive innovation is and just how disruptive Onpassive is going to be to the online marketing industry. And this is also why you will want to be a part of us from the very beginning. So, to help you better understand this concept, I just want to briefly explain what a disruptive innovation really is. First of all, to disrupt something is to interrupt or to break apart the normal way of doing things. And disruptive innovation refers to the use of a technology whose application significantly affects the way that a market or an industry functions, thereby disrupting it. And although you may see the terms disruptive innovation and disruptive technology used interchangeably, When we talk about a disruptive innovation, we are talking about the actual use of a technology rather than the technology itself. In other words, it is the business model, not the technology, that enables and creates the disruption. However, there are some technologies that are intrinsically disruptive, as we'll see in a moment. And when you put a disruptive business model together with a disruptive technology, you are looking at a powerful disruptive innovation, such as what we have with Onpassive. Now, from the slide, it says disruptive innovation creates new markets and reshapes existing ones by building a major position in a market that an existing company previously valued. And I want to stop there for a minute to say that true disruptive innovation is a process, it's not a product or a service. For example, a new startup that is on a disruptive trajectory does not start out by initially competing with an existing company for its mainstream consumers, but rather it begins in one of two ways. Number one, by appealing to what is called low end consumers. And these are current customers of an existing company. However, the profits gained by these consumers are not enough for the company to pay any real attention to them. And instead, their focus is on pleasing the higher end consumers, the ones that make them the most money. And the second way that defines a disruptive innovator is one who opens up a whole new market with those consumers or non consumers who previously were not consumers of an existing company's products or services. And as you will learn later, Onpassive is on a disruptive trajectory by taking into consideration both the low end consumer of the online marketing industry and the previously non consumer of the online marketing industry. And I just want to give you a couple of quick examples so that you can see exactly what a disruptive innovation is and what it is not. Amazon, for example, is a disruptive innovation. By creating an online business model and using the disruptive technology of the internet, they targeted both the low end consumers and the previously non consumers of the book selling industry. Through the disruptive innovation process, they eventually gained the high end consumers of many established brick and mortar bookstores, thereby gaining a major position that was previously valued by the traditional book selling industry, causing total disruption. Now, on the other hand, and contrary to popular belief, Uber is not a disruptive innovation based on what we now know. Now, while Uber is clearly transforming the taxi industry, it did not originate with low end consumers, nor did it create a new market where none previously existed, as Uber's customers were generally people who were already in the habit of hiring rides. Now, before we leave this slide, there's one other thing that I would like to point out, and that is with most disruptive innovations, they usually tend to create quote unquote good enough products or services at a lower price that will capture the attention of the low end consumer, as well as bring in those who were previously non consumers and then work their way up through the market with better quality products or services. However, with Onpassive, we are starting out of the gate with superior products that are not only less expensive, but are more easily accessible to everyone. And I believe that we will gain the attention of many high end consumers in a short amount of time, totally truly disrupting the online marketing industry. And now that we have a better understanding of exactly what a disruptive innovation is, here are the top 5 disruptive technologies that are being used today. Starting from the bottom up, we have the Internet of Things, virtual reality, 3D printing, the blockchain, and of course, AI technology, which is the number one disruptive technology. And this is what we use in Onpassive. So I hope that by the time we presentation here today, you will know exactly what we mean when we say that Onpassive is taking disruption to a whole new level. And that's it for me, Scott. Thank you.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you for explaining that so clearly and so concisely, Victoria. We appreciate that. So, what makes a successful disruptive innovation? Number one, enabling technologies. An invention or an innovation makes a product more affordable and accessible to a wider population. Innovative business models, a business model that targets non consumers. These are new customers who previously did not buy products or services in any particular given market, or low end consumers, like Victoria mentioned, at the least profitable of all customers. Coherent value network, a network in which suppliers, partners, distributors, and customers are each better off when the disruptive technology prospers. Now, take a picture and dream again. Here's a fairly young family with young children, probably, I would say, maybe 8 and 10 years old, and looks like they are enjoying a wonderful vacation or cruise together on the open seas. Hopefully, they're not down anywhere near the Bahamas when that was taken. But, anyways, with Onpassive, you are going to be able to be the anchor man. You're going to lead your family and you're going to place your own destination, your ship's destination, on the very safest dock with Onpassive. It's time to return the unconditional love to your family that they deserve and take charge over your future. Our solution, people always ask me, well, what are the products with OnPassive when they launch? And I can't even name half of them because the list that you see in front of you grows more and more every time we create a new presentation. So as you can see, we are going to be the complete toolbox for any type of business growth and promotion, advertising, and traffic, and of course, the proprietary online marketing products that you will ever need. Things such as autoresponders, bulk email, contact management systems, crowdfunding platforms, cryptocurrency leveraging, daily campaigns, sales funnels, video funnels, social marketing platforms that are going to boost your standings on places like Pinterest and Facebook and Twitter, whatever social platforms you use or ones that you will use in the future. How about your very own webinar hosting platforms? If you've ever had a webinar platform, you know how expensive. We will have our own custom branded webinar hosting platforms included in our basic affiliate membership. We will have website creators. If you are tired of paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to have a custom website built for you, let our software do it for you. Ad rotators and search engine optimization tools. Your own domain name. You're not going to be onpassive.com/Scott Nelson and just be another name in the crowd. Every one of our founders and affiliates will have numerous domain names that promote you, not necessarily the company. Of course, we'll be promoting the company, but they're going to come to find out about you and how you can help them as you establish and brand yourself on the internet once and for all, professionally and with high impact. Email campaign data cleaners. If you've ever done any email marketing, you know that one of the biggest frustration is spam filters, misspelled words, and bad data. No longer will you have that problem. We're going to be giving back out of every dollar in the future to humanitarian causes to help people in our community, which is the global community around the world. You'll have enjoy our own hosting with Onpassive, sales pages, landing pages, video pages. You'll have your own print shop and your own private email inbox. And that's just the beginning. So when you look at Onpassive, you truly are looking at all of the solutions and products online for whatever your need will ever be. As a non competitive, self funding online marketing solution that is disrupted by design and driven by artificial intelligence, this will propel us to greatness because it is the number one disruptive technology. You can see our office building. We don't have the whole office building, but that is our location right now for the US in beautiful Orlando, Florida. And this was created to give us a presence in the United States as well as globally. And this has been created to ensure your success and your referrals and friends and family's success with longevity for the company that is including the following criteria. First of all, we are global. It doesn't matter where in the world you might be, you can be a part of the history that is being made right now. This is an affordable business platform that everybody can afford, and it is a residual income. So a lot of people ask, Scott, I don't have a current business, network marketing, anything I'm promoting. You don't need to look any further because the income, we're going to touch on that in a moment, is unbelievably robust. So if you don't have something and you are worried that you need to have something, you can add at any time. You can use this platform for any business, anything that you need it to do, recruit people, introduce people to your products, and it's fully automated. This is so important for people like myself that are in the baby boomer generation. And once they hear about an online business, the first thing that happens is they get scared to death because let's face it, us baby boomers did not grow up with computer technology and education. And this business model with Onpassive is fully scalable. You are going to be able to enjoy unlimited earnings that will be attached to a real-time payment process that your commissions will be dropped into your very own online e-wallet, and you'll have any and every option that you need, including no withdrawal fees for your commissions. Not only are you going to be able to access your funds and your commissions immediately as often as you need it, but you're not going to be charged to withdraw it. You're going to be able to enjoy unlimited earning potential. And like I said, you're going to get paid on every single transaction that occurs within the platform and in your group. This is absolutely amazing. And if you've looked at compensation plans, this is just one little morsel of the compensation plan. And before I touch on it briefly, I want you to know that your earnings are going to always vary. Nobody is going to be exactly the same because let's face it, we have people that are full-time marketers that work from home. They don't have a regular job. And so they're going to probably put a little bit more time and effort in. And for those of you, you have to understand you're going to be rewarded based on your effort. And don't be confused with me saying effort. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult for those of you that don't sell and don't recruit. Don't worry about it because when you see this wonderful platform develop over the coming months and years ahead, you are going to be highly motivated to share the good news with as many friends and loved ones as you can. And as you meet people that are driven to your Onpassive website, through our generous traffic programs that are included in our monthly memberships, the top 3 memberships that will drive targeted traffic to whatever website or websites, landing pages, lead capture pages, Shopify, Amazon pages. It just doesn't matter. And as you can see, with this lucrative 3x forced matrix, you can actually take this one matrix and actually generate income through 4 different membership levels. When OnPassive goes live very soon, everybody will begin as a free member when they first register. If you're not certain about getting started with OnPassive, you can do a 7-day trial where you can have full access to our basic affiliate back office, and you can see actual downline joining underneath you. Just remember that you just can't collect those luscious commissions until you upgrade to that $25 level. For those of you that want to be including some traffic and targeted visitors, then I recommend making sure that not only that you join at the affiliate level, but you'll definitely want to add in, if possible, the second level, because that is where our traffic, our targeted traffic packages that will drive visitors to your websites or whatever you are promoting on a daily basis. That's right. That's so unusual here. Could you imagine just how quickly you could grow your product sales, your business opportunity, or your lead generation when you have daily focused traffic visiting your pages and your websites? So your $125 along with your $250 and your $500 all include additional traffic. Let's just look really carefully as you take a glance at the income potential. Once again, this is an example. This is not a guarantee of any income. It's designed to give you a mere idea of possibilities. Remember when we said at the beginning, let's dream together? Well, look at the potential. With just a few members on your first level, you could be, if you were active and those 3 members were active in all 4 membership levels, which, by the way, I'm going to tell you why everybody that is joining OnPassive will eventually become all in by being qualified to get paid on all 4 membership levels. But let's look simplistically at just having 3 members underneath you. Doesn't matter whether you referred them, somebody below you referred them, or somebody above you referred them. That's called spillover. And if you just had 3 members on your first level that were active with you in all 4 levels, your monthly income with 3 people would be $126 a month. Okay, let's just look at the potential as you go down. Now, remember, in a 10 level, even though this pays to unlimited depth, we are showing this as a 3 by 10. That's 10 levels. And you can see on the far left under members that you could potentially have over 80,000 affiliates below you. Remember, you may not have sponsored any. And over the years ahead, there could potentially be hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And every single person that falls below you in this wonderful 3x4 matrix is going to pay you accordingly. And you can see the payouts on each level. And take a look over to your running totals, how that grows. If you were to eventually be all in, and in this example, all of your matrix was filled, could you imagine having a monthly, that's right, it starts with an M, monthly residual income on just this first part of our compensation? Because we're so new and we haven't even launched it that we haven't even seen the other parts. And that's being saved for a surprise for all of us. But this would be plenty, I think, for most if you were receiving over $2 million a month. But as people know me, I'm very realistic and I don't want to give anybody anything but hopes and dreams that you will reach that someday in the future. But let's just look if you were to look at a far lower level of success with OnPassive. What if you were able to reach 10% of that level? 90% you didn't fulfill, but maybe in a year or two, or in a 6 weeks or 6 months, it doesn't really matter. Just depends what you want to put into this. Just imagine if you had a 10%. Could an extra $200,000 a month make a difference for you and your family? Could you take your family on a cruise? I think you could easily buy a very nice boat for your own enjoyment. But let's go one step further if you want to be realistic. What if you only enjoyed 1% success of that number. Let's say it took a year or two. It doesn't matter whether it takes a week or a year or 10 years. If you only achieved 1% of those numbers, would an extra $20,000 each and every month make a difference to you? I would say most of you are shaking your head, and I will warn you that this is definitely a cause of insomnia for those of you that are paying attention and can dream just a little bit, and get ready because it's about to happen. Onpassive's online marketing platform is destined to render the past standards of online marketing absolutely obsolete. In fact, I love the statement from R. Buckminster Fuller, who said, "You'll never change things by fighting against the existing reality. To change something for others and in your own life, you need to build a new way, a new model that's going to make the old model obsolete. Compile your hard work and utter faith and see how your life will change forever with Onpassive." Now it's my privilege to introduce a great writer, creator, thinker. He's a great mind. He's done some wonderful things, including putting together a wonderful getting started an information guide for Onpassive. If you haven't read it yet, it's over in your back office, Gofounders. It's my privilege for these next few minutes to introduce you to Jeffrey Morlock. Jeffrey, can you hear me okay?
I can. Thank you. Thank you very much. Boy, I'll tell you what, I love listening to you explain this stuff, Scott.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Absolutely. We are looking at this slide here. The I think it's number 33. Our new model being a unique model because it's easily accessible in one place, lowest price on the globe, has every imaginable tool, and the best thing of all, it's all done for you. I want to talk a little bit about that, a little bit about how we got there. And I, like Scott, really do enjoy looking at that uh, Fuller quote because we do use that, and we know that we are a disruptive technology that's actually going to make sure that what is currently available to everybody is going to be obsolete. But in doing this, a lot of times we overlook some of the things that we want to look a little closer at today. And I certainly appreciate all the great things that you're doing here, Scott. Thank you so much. So anyway, we want to look at the products that have been lined up um, from Onpassive, in that we can provide and maintain freely to public too. Now, some of the things that Scott you had mentioned earlier, one of the things that absolutely blew my mind is when Mr. Mufar had indicated to us that he was also lining up and he was going to provide to the public some freebies once we launched that would just go out from Onpassive to them, and that they would maintain them and make sure that they were available for the public at no cost. And we absolutely loved that. I thought that was something that needed to be brought up, mentioned. Um, Obviously, in keeping with Mr. Fuller's quote, we've developed an entire system with artificial intelligence that's brand new. It's never been seen before. It's an online marketing system that is obviously destined to render the standards of what's currently available obsolete, and that's one of the big things we've been touting through AI for a long time. Um, but one of the things that I really enjoy, and this is why it trips me and jazzes me up so good, is that Onpassive is not, um, how do you say, they're not trying to pull away from others as much as possible, like they for themselves. What they're trying to do instead is they're providing a platform that will allow those that already have a business to join, and so they can become much more successful. And we, on the other side, will provide for those that do not have a business, those that people have no experience perhaps on online marketing and things of that nature, like you had mentioned earlier. And we provide them with a plug and play platform that actually guarantees their success. So, in the first case, for those that have a business, we're not encroaching on their businesses or their livelihood at all. Instead, what we're doing is we're bringing them customers. We're seeking to increase their abundance, and we're simply providing and creating a platform that's going to help them to run whatever they're running much more efficiently. And we're going to be bringing them all sorts of traffic, and all of the tools that are available to them are going to be used for fulfilling, like you said, also their own business, for branding what they are doing. You know, this is not all about Onpassive. This is about the Gofounders. This is about all the affiliates, and this is about a global thing that we're doing. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful come together of everything involved. In the second case, Onpassive is providing the needed goods and services for those people that don't have anything at all. Those people that may not have even worked online or anything like that. So now they've got a platform that they can learn what's going on. They can understand and grow little by little. And like you said, reach for the stars. You know, I mean, they can become whatever it is that they want to become. Um, if I look at the next slide, if I can find it, oh, there we go. I love this. We just explained a little bit about that. This little shaking hands here kind of denotes that what we're actually doing is bringing the corporate and bringing the customers together. And we're also bringing the business people that have their own businesses, Scott, we're bringing them together in a very compatible way, a connected way to those people that don't have businesses. So the low end and non-consumer end that you were talking about with the disruptive technology earlier. And with that, I'm just going to hand it back to you. And I want to thank you very much. And I certainly appreciate everything you're doing.
Well, Jeffrey, thank you so much. And it's great to hear your voice and just make sure that you understand how much we and I appreciate everything that you're doing here. What a wonderful teammate and friend, and look forward to getting to meet you in person. And I just want to comment on this slide too, because we do forget about that. And thank you for bringing that up, Jeffrey, with Onpassive. For those of you that have people that you know that are small business owners, I have a gentleman I know very well, Rick Johnson, who is in financial planning and works with people that are looking to set themselves up in retirement. And he's always looking, he's a small business owner, works independently, always looking for ways to develop new leads. Now, not just leads of people that might say, oh, if I could win a free vacation, I might let you give me a life insurance quote or something like that. No, he's looking for people that are serious, that really, truly need help. And he realizes when he looked at this platform, this is something that will help everybody who needs new people, but not just any people, targeted people that are interested in what your business, product, or service is. And that is the beautiful thing about the newest cutting edge artificial intelligence that we use with Onpassive. Folks, you're going to be absolutely amazed when you get to see this in action. That one thing will change lives forever. So, why do you, or why do I, or most importantly, why do we need this? Just look at the way things are today. Most of you probably have been in one or two other business models, maybe many more, and you can see how distorted the current business model is. It's completely based on conflict, competition, and no resolution. Dog eat dog world, just like working for big corporations in the world today. Who's going to get to the top first, and who's willing to do the worst to his fellow man so that they do not advance faster than me, myself, and I. 90% of online, better than 90% of online businesses, you've seen them. They're here today, they're gone in a few weeks, a few months, and about 90% of them just aren't recommended. I don't like to use the word scam, but frankly, there isn't any better word to describe most of the online opportunities, network marketing, and opportunities that are currently available. And all we end up doing is throwing good money after bad. And believe me, I've lived that way many times in my life. And it's just a moment after I join that opportunity and realize I made a mistake. The only difference is they don't care. They've got my money and they're not giving it back. Most every business in traditional MLM and home based businesses require you to sell products, purchase products that you may not even want. And certainly, if you plan to build your income through recurring income, you are going to need to recruit other people. The sad fact is, though, only about 20% of the world and people that join our industry want to be salespeople, are salespeople, or ever want to bother anybody. How about a completely hands-free selling and recruiting software platform using state-of-the-art proprietary marketing tools, sales funnels, and artificial intelligence that will change your life forever? Tools that are obtained separately and that are going to cost you more. And sadly enough, it's hard to believe it, but most companies don't even give you marketing tools. And if they did, they're borrowed, they're old, they're outdated, and they're expensive. That's right. Additional marketing tools, autoresponders, the things that we give you with Onpassive in our basic affiliate membership is all included. When they're charging you $20, $30, $40 a month, you're getting it with as little as a $25 one-time out-of-pocket investment. And of course, they don't ever be bold enough to offer you a refund if you aren't fully satisfied. And really, all you do is get pitted against your competitors. Here, I believe with OnPassive, we're going to enjoy a membership, but it's more than a membership. It's the bringing together of a family that will change our lives together. I expect to meet hundreds, if not thousands, of marketers around the world that are already members, already founders, and soon to be affiliates. And I want to establish relationships with people globally. And compensation earnings in most cases are recruit, get somebody to spend $200, $500, $1,000 and get your commission up front, even though they may never even make an effort to sell a product or to find a customer. That's the current state of affairs. Look how different and how fresh Onpassive is at making these benefits and these strategies and this way of doing business that is so much different. This is a business platform and model that is based on all people's benefit, mutual benefits. This is a real business, real products. I mean, if you ever were asked to name it off, you better go back to that slide on a replay and make a long list, not to mention our main product, which is quality targeted traffic, visitors to your websites, your product pages each and every day. And this is a self-funding, so it pays you to use the platform. You don't do any selling unless you want to. Some people do, but let's face it, they say only about 20% of all people who start a home-based business have ever sold a product unless they're selling it to their mom or their pet, and they certainly do not recruit. Only 20%, they say, this is from the Direct Selling Administration, 20% of the people that join a network marketing company have recruited. That means that 8 out of 10 have never recruited. When I say recruit, I don't mean your parakeet and your sister who's 12. I'm talking about people that you have never met. Well, for those of you who do not sell and do not recruit, your solution is finally here. And I'm happy to say, if we have 1,000 people here today, that means that 800 of you do not sell, you do not recruit. And guess what? This is the perfect hands-free passive income that you'll be able to enjoy, not just for your own life, but for your family and friends forever. Every tool that you need here, I've mentioned this before, is more than you could ever possibly use. Unless you are a master online marketer, you may find one or two that you've never seen in concept, but in reality, they are all proprietary. No duplication, no borrowed or copied tools and marketing products for us at Onpassive. And guess what? If there was one bullet point that changes the playing field, if you're not happy, we give you your money back. That's right. You join Onpassive and Gofounders, and you look at it and you say, well, it isn't what I thought it would be. I haven't made any money, or whatever reason. You just simply contact our customer support, request a refund, and you will have a form emailed out that you must fill out, and you'll be able to get your money back. This is truly no risk. And marketers here only compete with themselves, not against others. We want to be better. We put the effort in and we are rewarded. This compensation plan is revolutionary. It's going to be substantial for those that pay attention. And there has never, in my 45 plus years in this industry, been anything like it. This really, truly, very well will be your last public window. I can tell you firsthand that we are at the end. We have been waiting and waiting, and we are getting so close now. In fact, this is what we call our semi-final public webinar, and we have one more to go, which will be a week from this Thursday, which I believe would be the 12th, if I'm not mistaken. That's next Thursday, not this week, at the same time. And the opportunity for you to become an integral part of one of the most promising unicorns in the history of all business, including online marketing, is about to begin, and you can be involved at the very beginning. And it's never too late to take action. The happiness lies in the act of worrying less and doing more. And we welcome you to take part in Onpassive. And just so you know, you probably heard me talk about our Founders program back about 13 months ago, roughly. Ash and his team thought it would be an outstanding way to benefit people that really understand first movers advantage. So for the next, I don't know, days or weeks, you still have an opportunity to become a founding member. When I started, there was about 1,000 founding members with Onpassive, people that wanted to step forward and create history and be part of making that history together with thousands of others, even though at that time it was only hundreds and maybe a few thousand for most of you. But now we are reaching nearly 40,000. I think we just went over 37,300 today, and it's growing. And by becoming a founder, not just getting the great tools and team building and traffic we told you, you are able to get in before the public. That means that right now we have about 37,000. Perhaps next year at this time, we'll have 1,037,000. We don't know, time will tell, but this is an opportunity while it lasts to take advantage of grabbing priority positioning, having priority access to your own private Gofounders website, which is live right now with already state-of-the-art tools, landing pages, webinar pages, information pages, videos, all of our different recordings of all of our public and our private founders. Meetings are back in our back office with Gofounders. So you do not want to drag your feet. You want to get back to the person that brought you here and get them to a position of greatness. This is a privilege to be a founder, and you're going to be able to participate in being like a board member as we help suggest, vote, and give feedback. And we're going to be part of the beta testing. Everybody that is a founder is going to be, first of all, placed into that 3-by matrix before anybody publicly. And while we beta test, you can earn. And once we launch, once Gofounders becomes Onpassive, we'll always have that beautiful Gofounders website. That will be a perk, but we get to beta test to make sure the tools and the platform and the compensation is working smoothly. And then we get to brainstorm with each other and make suggestions. And we're going to create an inner circle where we can come together and make it better and better, because remember, we are working as a family. How do you get started? Well, it's very easy. Get back to the person. If you haven't already registered, you'll want to register as a founding member. You can do that right now prior to the launch of Onpassive. Simply get the link to whoever referred you's registration for Gofounders. You simply fill out the form. It's going to redirect you to go to your email address that you set up for your account. I highly recommend, if you can get a Gmail account, making sure that all of your updates and announcements get into your inbox. And unfortunately, in today's emailing problems, a lot of the providers like Comcast and Earthlink and many block out anything, and you will not be able to get the most important information that is just about to be released. So get ready to dream big. Make your one-time $97 founders payment that will get you locked in right now before perhaps hundreds of thousands, even millions of new affiliates who will join us the moment we launch Onpassive. It's an opportunity to own your life because it is your life. And this is all about helping one another. That's why we're sharing these very limited public webinars. Okay. This is going to happen not by force, by trying to convince or trying to recruit or by counting your money before the well being of others. It's so different. If you want something as refreshing as that ocean will feel when that young man hits that water, you need to become a founder and get positioned. You're going to establish your own legacy and you're going to make not only a great founder, but we believe you're going to be a leader and a top affiliate. So either way, whether you want to be a founder, that's great. Get yourself in these last few days and weeks ahead before it goes away. If you would decide that you would just like to wait until affiliates are able to enroll and the founder program is over, then get back with the person and let them know your intentions. Either way, we're going to work with you, love you, and help you to reach out to one another. And thank you for that beautiful statement there, Victoria. You heard Victoria just a bit ago, and that's a heartfelt statement. So congratulations to those 37,300, probably 400, maybe 500 by now that have recently and over the last 13, 14 months become global founders of Onpassive. You took this extraordinary beginning trip on this magnificent Onpassive and Gofounders aircraft, and now you have created another milestone. What are you going to get when you join us? You're going to get teamwork, all in to win. We're in it to win it. Mutual benefits, aim, success, dedication, and support. Get ready for the ultimate business flight. It's time for each of you and each of us to rise above the clouds and feel the sunshine with Onpassive. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and step away now, and I want to bring I got to tell you, one of my most favorite professional women to the mic. Well, two of them actually, but one that you haven't heard because usually she's the voice of making people feel at home, making them pull up their Onpassive loungers and get ready for a ride that we'll never forget. Miss Cindy Hopkins. Cindy, can you hear me?
I can, Scott, and thank you so very much. That was a beautiful presentation. I always get super, super excited again and again and again every time I hear you speak. It's wonderful. But folks, I would like you to really hear me with your heart and hear me with your mind. And this is so, so very important. It's not a random act that you are here today. It's not random. It is definitely not an accident. Every single one of us is connected. And this is global, guys. Every single one of us is here to help each other have a huge financial success over the course of time, all right? And that is what Onpassive is all about. It does include each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. It includes your organization that you represent or your charity or whatever you're getting a position for. Ash Mufareh has created a revolutionary, never seen before business here. He's using artificial intelligence at its best in order for each and every person who joins this business to have extreme financial success as the company grows. So really, I just welcome you to join us and become part of our Onpassive family today, okay? Be part of the greatest business, online or offline, that the world has ever seen. And you mark my words, it's the greatest business the world has ever seen for the average person to have huge success in. Thank you, Scott, and I'll turn it back to you real quick. Or to Victoria. Maybe not. maybe that is just where we want to.
I think they've left you.
Okay, Scott, do you think?
I think Scott
Because
is gone. He did have to leave. He did
okay,
have to
yes,
leave.
he's got company in from out of town that are dear friends of his. But wasn't it great? Wasn't it a super presentation that he gave Victoria?
Absolutely. It absolutely was. And I just hope that everyone sees the the possibilities that are here. I mean, this is going to be so fantastic. And we call it a business, a platform, but it is truly going to be a worldwide movement. And
It
this
is.
is something that you want to be in on from the very beginning. Can you
That's what I
imagine?
just feel. I feel like you have mentioned this. You know, it is. It's just a privilege to be part of this. It's going to be a movement, as you've quoted. It's not just a opportunity. I mean, it is so anything but an opportunity. This is going to be life changing right from the get go. And I'm just I feel like we're in on the most explosive business to ever hit the world, you know, and we're in at the beginning. And any other person who joins as a founder is going to be in that very same boat. And I think that's just awesome. And the money back, I mean, it's no risk. I mean, this doesn't get any better than that.
Right.
So,
And
Well,
you know something else?
go ahead, Jeffrey.
When when you look at what we have, when you look at the products that we have, every one of these products are available under one roof. Every one of them. You don't have to go anywhere. And if you're a business owner, if you're somebody that's been in marketing, like like say for instance me for the last couple of years, and you want to get a funnel, you got to go to one place. If you want landing pages and rotators, you got to go somewhere else. And heaven forbid you want to get recruiting. Oh my word, I could spend $1,000 a month just trying to get leads.
well, you could. I have. I have. I mean, it's very easy to do, and that's what I love about this. It's so the value for all the products is
Absolutely.
so small. You know, and it's always our choice. I love that too. The company doesn't make you do something you don't want to do. I love that you know, everything is our choice, our business. What Ash has created here truly is I mean, it's life changing because he's really looking out for the little guy. Because he's been there. He's also been there himself. I mean, he knows what the problems are: recruiting, selling, and he created a business that we can all have huge success in, and I think it's wonderful. One thing that Scott mentioned, you know, he mentioned at one point, you know, and this is what's crazy. We haven't even launched, and we have nearly 40,000 members, okay, founders. And he mentioned that what about in a year there's maybe 1 million. I actually think we're going to be a unicorn, and I think we're going to be a super unicorn, to tell you the truth. I
Oh,
think this is going to
no doubt.
explode, don't you?
No doubt.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
think
and so
here,
anybody that comes in now, they're just for being present, the right place at the right time in their life, they're going to have huge success just by jumping in my opinion. I just think it's going to absolutely explode. This is an awesome opportunity because once we launch, people will be able to join for as little as $25 one time out of pocket. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. They can join free, look around, $25. I mean, you tell me I mean, who wouldn't pay that for the chance to have astronomical income? I mean, as it grows. It takes some time, but hey, it's so worth it. I just love it. I love it.
and
And I
that's
love
part of the low end consumer we were talking about previously.
exactly, Jeffrey. Exactly. And
Those people that have never had anything to do with an online business before are guaranteed to be successful in
exactly.
Onpassive. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and
we've got the whole realm covered.
exactly. And that's what I mean, this is Ash Mufara's legacy to the world. He is in it to win it. I mean, he coined that phrase, in it to win it, and it's all the way. It's to help the global community, and I love the fact. I mean, we are all truly connected, and for once, we aren't pitted against each other.
Right.
We actually want to see each and every person succeed, and because we're all connected and we're all the same family. So I think with that, I would like to go ahead and close out the presentation. I want to tell everybody thank you so much, and again, all you invitees, definitely get back to the person who invited you. We'd love to welcome you to our Onpassive family. It's a decision that you will never regret making. And again, 100% money back guarantee. You can't lose. We'd love to have you join us. And I want to say a special thank you to Scott for his beautiful job of presenting, and of course always our wonderful inspirational leader, Victoria Leal, and Jeffrey Morlock, who we could not make it without, because he does all the e-books and is just an inspiration and a wonderful fellow to work with. And thank you so much, folks. Victoria, would you close it out for us?
Yes, and I would like to also thank Jeffrey and Scott and Ash and you, Cindy. We all love you and appreciate you very much. And we'd like to thank all of our founders and our invitees who attended today. So just please get back with the person who invited you to our webinar and let them know that you are ready to get started, and we can get you started in no time. So
and we'll
thank you all
on
very
the other side.
Yes,
For
absolutely.
Sure.